Okay, so we're on. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. We're not gonna hold. We're not gonna hold everybody long, but we just wanted to come on here and talk about the breaking news earlier in regards to Brittany Griner being released from Russia, and
Yeah.
there has been a lot of controversy centered around her release, especially on social media. Wesley and I were on Facebook this morning, and there was a lot of different feedback and opinions, and very strong opinions on the matter at hand, right? So
Yeah.
we just want to get into it and kind of talk about and discuss our perspectives on Brittany Griner and her being released and the swap. Now that was the major controversy right there is the swap and who America and Russia swapped out, or who America swapped out for Britain. So, Wes, I'm gonna let you more because you kind of I made a post earlier, and my post was basically posting that that I was excited that Brittany was being released. I didn't follow her closely pre being detained in Russia. So I honestly, even to the hour, I do not know what basketball team she plays on or for. I've never followed her basketball career. So this really has nothing to do with her being an athlete. My excitement for her, but I know, Wes, you had asked a simple question on the post, and then like boom, it kind of blew up with different opinions and things like that. So I'm gonna let you kind of get into your view.
Okay. First thing I was doing is I was just trying to see if we're on live, if I can even find us on the live, because I don't see.
On YouTube.
You went to YouTube or
Yeah,
Facebook?
no, we're on YouTube.
Oh, we're on YouTube. Oh, I thought we were. Oh, we
Yeah,
don't got. Okay, okay.
yeah, on
Well,
YouTube now.
my question was earlier. Let me get to the question. And this is really informal right now, but I'm pretty sure that it will get formal. What's going on here? I posted a question. Well, the sister here, Kara, had made a post, and I just asked a simple question, like she said, and that was I don't want to misquote myself. Let's see. Basically, what was so great about her being released? What was great about her being released? And that was just an open-ended question. I wasn't thinking that I was showing hate or love. It was just a neutral question, in my opinion. And there was a lot of feedback from that, and I'm 50-50 on it. I'm really neutral on it, but I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. Because
As
that's what I was. I guess I turned into the devil's advocate, and so my thing was, why did we make that kind of trade as far as a arms dealer, a merchant of murder for someone who was busted for a vape pen? That was one of my concerns about that, because I felt like we should have been able to get 2-3 people out of jail in Russia, because there are a couple of people over there that I think the trade was not an even or fair trade. That's like me playing, and I say simple game of Uno. I trade you a draw 4 and you give me a reverse. It's kind of like that. And then the second thing was, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Um, she got caught. They have their rules, and she was sentenced to 9 years. And everybody say that's a harsh punishment, but yeah, that's harsh for here in America. But over there, the rules are the rules, and I don't see, what was. I'm playing the devil's advocate. I don't see what was so great about that, about her getting
Well,
released.
so are you playing devil's advocate, or
Yes,
are
I'm,
you really just asking what's
I'm,
so great?
I'm playing the devil's advocate, and I'm asking the question. As the devil's advocate, that's what I was. What I mean, she was caught. So why should she be released? What's the big up? I can see her, okay, it's a good thing that she was released you got to do 9 years, but you got out early. I mean, that was no really, you did 9 months for a crime that you were supposed to sit in jail for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you went
Yeah,
to Russia, you got caught, do your time. Everybody else did their time, do their time here. So, you know,
yeah. I think for me, I understand that she got caught and that there's harsher punishments over in different countries, different jurisdiction. I understand that. It was a high level um, trade, I guess, in regards to who it was. And the person that they traded over was Victor Bout, um, who is a merchant of death. And so people are kind of concerned, and I understand the concern. I really do. That because he's a terrorist, that the exchange was not fair, right?
right.
Right. Okay. So I think that people see this as a symbolic moment, as we typically do. We see things as symbolic, and I think that people's concern for Brittany was that she, first of all, she's a basketball player, yes, but Russia has profited off of Brittany for quite some time. Um, and so for her to have gotten caught with these cartridges, and then sentenced to 9 years. Yes, I think the majority of people feel that that was a harsh punishment, that was a harsh sentence, and so harsh that yeah, we felt that America needed to step in. Yes, there are other American prisoners, prisoners at war, things of that nature, and I think that people wanted had a put emphasis basically on the fact that she is a basketball player, and that's why there's so much support behind her being released, which could be true in the grand scheme of things if you're taking a bird's eye view of things. But for a person like me, it was a victory, so to speak, because she is a woman, she's a black woman, and the punishment was extremely harsh in my opinion. Yes, there are people who are caught with marijuana and other drugs, and their punishment is harsh as well here in America. And again, people were arguing that the same energy is not reciprocated here for those who are domestic and have been punished with harsh sentences for getting caught as well. But I actually beg to differ. I think that there are a lot of people, a lot of policy makers, or people who can make decisions on policy, who are trying to reform um, the judicial system, which does entail trying to lobby for people to get out of jail for petty crime and that have been sentenced harshly. So I just feel like, why are we doing tit for tat?
Yeah, I think it's biased. Basketball player. let's see, me, normal Joe, I go over there and I get caught with one cartridge and maybe have to do 5 years. Who's gonna advocate for me? And then an arms dealer. Come on, a arms dealer, international arms dealer.
That's who Russia wanted. It's not like it was a broad negotiation. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you get to choose 5 out of 10 people or 1 out of 10 people to exchange or to
Yeah,
trade.
but Russia won. I think Russia actually won because arms. I'm just saying, a basketball player, and I'm not going to say because she's a WNBA, which is barely watched. But anyway, an arms dealer for a basketball player.
And that's what I don't understand. I don't understand why people are minimizing her to a basketball player. I think because she's a basketball player, this case became high profile. Absolutely. So you're right in terms of if it were to be you, the vast majority of us would not have known that it was you. So you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. But she can't help that she's an NBA basketball player. That's her profession. But that doesn't mean that is who she is in totality. She's still a human. She's still she still has a life in America. She had a life in America. Just because I feel like people are bashing her specifically because she's a basketball player. And I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, it is not fair. You're right.
She still had living this experience, whether she was a basketball player, whether she was a janitor, it doesn't matter. She's still living this experience. And because she's a basketball player, people are at arms and making it seem like, like when you say what
He
is
was a
he?
merchant. He was a murderer. He was a merc. He was
Okay.
an international arms dealer.
Basketball player. Say it like that. It's just like, why are y'all even minimizing her existence like that? That's what it sounds like. I think a lot of people are interpreting, but kind of dig deeper into what that really means for you.
What it means is that you're a basketball player is equivalent in society, has as much value as a murderer and a arms dealer. I mean, you did the crime. You knew you was smuggling. You wasn't just out in the open with it. You didn't have a medical card for it or anything like that. You knew what you were doing. You smuggled it over there. You got caught, and that's the sentence. And here, you get caught, and that's your sentence. And then I guess I'm just going to read a comment if that's all right.
Yeah.
CF Designs Online says one life is not more valuable than the other life. Just because he has contributed to killing people doesn't mean we should value his ability to kill as higher than her ability to inspire. So okay, then. So what is the inspiration that she gives? I mean, I don't know if they would have did that for Chris Paul. He said she's probably more valuable than him in this case because she has been martyred. Is she really a martyr? She wasn't innocent.
And to some people, she is a martyr. She would be considered a martyr to some people. I mean, and so that's subjective. You know what I mean? That's subjective. But I get what I can't see the comments. Where are the comments at?
Hello? Hear me? You got a touch comment. I know it's on my right hand side. It says touch private comment. Chatter comments. And you click
okay.
You click comments.
Okay. Yeah, and that, you know what? And yes, CFD Designs, and I think that's Mike actually. I agree with you. When you make statements such as, a basketball player for a terrorist, it seems like you're minimizing her value because she's a basketball player. And that's the way that I interpret it. And so I think that's what people have an issue with. They take issue with the fact that there seems to be some type of value system in regards to this exchange or this trade. You see what
Okay,
I'm
but
saying?
it is a value system because Joe would not be free today. He'd be doing his 9 years right now. I don't know if this was a okay. Then we go into the fact that she's a black woman, and okay, they're putting a black woman at high value. That's great. I feel that's I feel that that's great. You know, and she should be put on a pedestal. But if she was in now, if she's a black woman, that's different. Who was over there and maybe if she didn't know the rules, didn't know that it was illegal, then that's different. That's just like me with some, and we didn't know that it was illegal. We still would have to.
Wesley, you going in and out. We can barely. You going in and out. Yeah, I can hear you better.
Okay, but like they say here, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And if they would have just let her go without a trade, you know, maybe that's different also. But an arms dealer, you know, I'm gonna forget the basketball thing, but an arms dealer, somebody who's murdered, that just doesn't, you know, make sense to me. It don't. And you could. There's other people who's here from that probably been locked up for marijuana, drug trafficking. The drug, you know, Russia said we want the arms, but I would have said no. Well, let's let 2 people go, and then for Biden to step in like that, I mean, it's a good for her and for people who looking at her like she's ordered, but I don't see the fairness in that. This should teach people. Let's see. No, she knew they got to go through training upon landing. The military even makes them watch a video and everything.
Yeah, I mean, she knew.
Even before they did the trade, I was like, do the crime, you do the time. I really don't have plenty of dudes out here who got caught with selling drugs, selling crack, meth, whatever, trying to feed their families. Got to do their 10 years, their 7 years in the fence. You know, there's no trade. They even snitches don't get that. They got to sit down for some time. You know, even people's paperwork. Some don't go scot free. They got to do some time. You know.
I get what you're saying.
If this was a white woman, would it be? What if it was a white woman?
It would be this outrage.
She probably would do any time, huh?
No, but and if she did, it would this type of outrage upon her release would not be. It wouldn't be present. And that, I guess that's my point as well. Like if it was a white woman and she was sentenced to 9 years in Russia, the majority of America would stand in solidarity in terms of bringing her back home. A white woman, absolutely. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't, you know, be my.
No, okay, you probably wouldn't, but I'm saying I said the majority of America, would have stood in solidarity for a white woman being released.
So is this saying that if you do a crime overseas, you shouldn't be punished harshly because you're American?
I mean, you shouldn't be punished harshly anywhere, to be honest with you. You shouldn't be punished harshly in America. We shouldn't be punished harshly anywhere, in my opinion. And I think that's part of the point as well.
Well, I get that. Or should she have been deported?
Well, 9 years is a bit. I mean, it's a little much. You know what I'm saying? And I think that people aren't able to really conceptualize that. And because of that, and because she has done, according to other people, that, like I said, I have not followed Brittany Griner. So I don't know what all she has done, but there are people who are fans of hers, yes, or people who have followed her that feel that she's been a great contributor to the Black community, to the LGBTQ plus community, um, and so yeah, they supported her. If it was a white man, so and that's another thing, people are upset because it wasn't who's the man who's been there for 10 years. He's been there for 10 years.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I can't remember his name.
We got to look up his name because this is a crucial point actually. Is his name Whelan? Paul Whelan.
Okay.
Right? Paul Whelan. So
Okay.
I'm gonna look up his situation now. A lot of people have said that he was a Marine, and a lot of people are saying that he was allegedly a spy, and so that's why he has been detained. And so let's kind of get into why he's still there. So
I
again,
think he carries more weight
huh,
than I think he carries more weight to be released. To me, a spy,
okay,
you're an American spy, and you get caught behind enemy lines, and you're basically a prisoner of war. So why not have him released as the main piece, and then she's a bonus? You
because
know,
Russia did not, that wasn't the negotiation. That's not the negotiation. I think people are missing a big chunk of this. Is that it's not like America could say, "Yeah, Russia, we're going to take Paul Whelan, Brittany Griner, and whoever else is there for exchange of uh bout." That's not how that goes. Well, first of all, Russia knew exactly what they were doing by detaining Brittany anyway.
right?
This is all part of the plan. So can we agree to
Yeah,
that?
I agree. I
Okay.
agree.
So this is all a part of the plan. Now Russia, yeah, I will say Russia is playing chess,
Yeah,
and not checkers in this situation. But they wanted a bout back. Okay, that's who they wanted in exchange for Brittany. They don't want to send Whelan back over here. That wasn't the negotiation. So it was either going to be one or none. It was either going to be Brittany or nobody. Period.
Without that, they like I said, Russia won. To me, because it just don't in the scales of justice, it really don't add up. Murderers do life. Murderers and arms dealers do excessive amount of time here. 9 years is could be court proceedings for somebody who's committed a murder or arms dealer or anything like that.
But
And so
he was sentenced, and I believe he did either 10 to 15, but he was getting ready to be released in 2028 anyway.
when 21.
2028. That was his
Well,
release date. Year, I guess. So
even to be an arms dealer and a murderer, and all you did was 20 years.
that's
That's
that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. So he was getting ready to be released in about 5 years anyway.
that's tough. I just that's tough because
It
what
is.
it's saying to me, I got a lot of mixed. And did Biden do this for his own for his own gain? Also, I'm thinking about that. It's getting close to election year. Could this possibly be the way to gain the black vote? You know,
Possibly.
you know.
Possibly. But my thing is, what does all of this have to do with Brittany and the things that she's experienced? And now I get it. I get it. She had the cartridges and things like that. I understand all of that. But the whole negotiation piece and what Biden did it for and all that other stuff, what does that have? That has a little to do with her as the individual who experienced this. So
Yeah,
are we not going to extend our black woman grace, our black sister grace? We're not going. We can't do that because we will want to do that for everybody else.
but everybody else wouldn't get that same grace if they didn't work in that kind of
That's not
limelight.
okay.
Mhm.
They may not have, but is that her? But is that her fault? Like, is that the fault of her?
Yeah, this the fault of her because if she had to obey the law, she
Because
wouldn't even have been in that situation.
so it's her fault that she's been released the way that she's been released because not everybody else would be receiving the same grace. That's her fault.
Yeah, ultimately, it is all of it's her fault. Yeah, because the kickback from her, from people not, from politicians not volleying for her for 9 months or whatever, it was kickback because I think that in the long run, they're thinking about the long run. It's coming close to election year, and they're thinking about, well, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. If I scratch your back, you scratch my back. And don't think that I think that it will be a debating point when they get in front of debate. Well, Brittany Griner was in Russia and we got her released, and that's playing towards the black audience, in my opinion.
Is Brittany Griner's fault though? I mean,
Griner.
that should fall on her. That this is political, like that should fall on her. I'm not. I guess I don't understand that part.
It is because if she had obeyed the law,
But she didn't obey the law, and so
yeah, and so she gets a pass for
and they're
bad behavior.
okay. But now we're here, and she has been released, and there
So
has been
she has been released.
negotiation between two countries, and so now it's her fault that those two countries came to a negotiation, and she's released. That's her fault. I'm not. That's not. I get the crime is her fault. Do people say that when other athletes break the law, they broke the law?
Yes, there's been plenty of athletes that have suffered. Let's say, for instance, uh, Adrian Peterson when he whooped his son. He had backlash for that. I don't think he went to jail, but he suffered in his career for that.
He didn't go to
You
jail,
know,
but he
no,
didn't
he
go to
did
jail.
not go to jail. No, he did not go to jail.
Other athletes,
And
male
that's
athletes.
another thing. And that's what I fault on America. Our athletes are put on this pedestal of like untouchability. Like athletes can get away with anything in any country at any time, and we're going to volley for them, come back because we need our athletes here. Now, is she going to be prosecuted here? No. What is she going to do when she gets here? What? I mean, what is she going to do that's going to be, what does she do that's noticeable? I didn't know about her until she got arrested. What has she done that has even benefit our community?
So really, people really do just have a problem with her being an athlete, and
Well, I have
that
a
being
problem with that. It's not fair because I'm looking at it like if she wasn't who she was, she'd still be sitting over there. I'm just putting me in my shoes. If I got caught over there, I'd still be over there. Wesley Williams would still be over there doing hard time. I still have 8 more years to finish. But if I was an athlete, then I would have grace. I'm not saying because basketball. I'm just saying athlete. Period. These athletes get a pass for bad behavior. Only person I've seen that was actually chastised was Lawrence Phillips, the running back for Nebraska, and he ended up going to the NFL. And he had some issues to where he ran over some people. he ended up committing murder. He had to go to jail, and ultimately he got killed in jail. But that's one of the few athletes that I've seen um, get chastised, and he actually did the crime. Even Muhammad Ali had to, was striped of things. Mike Tyson, you got to think about Mike Tyson, how he was treated. Also, they didn't give him any favors. And I believe if he got caught overseas back then, he would have had to sit in jail. But
But
times are different.
She sit in jail. She sat in jail for 9 months. Brittany effed up. This is
That's
my
county time.
Brittany, well, I mean, but she still sat there. Brittany effed up. She knew she wasn't supposed to be smoking over there. Other countries do not operate like we do over here. We are privileged to the max. I agree, we're privileged. But again, my question is, now that we're at this point where she's been traded, why are we not necessarily happy why are we not extending her grace? That's all I guess that's my question. Are we, and no, we're not, nobody's entitled to extend her grace. She messed up, but I just feel like, it's funny how, we want grace extended to us when we mess up, but when somebody else messes up, then,
Yeah, I get it, but for me, I haven't gotten any grace from my mistakes. I had to pay for my mistakes, and if I was an athlete, maybe then, it'd be all right. But
yeah, well, she was there for 9 months, and that's a pretty good chunk of time to be in a Russian jail cell. But I do understand where you're coming from, Wes. I really do. You've made really good points thus far. Cherie said, "Do people say that when other athletes break the law?" And we already answered that. She said, "Facts." Um, Valiant Thor trading Griner for Victor Bout, similar to trading a high school football player for Bo Jackson. Okay.
yeah, for real.
Okay.
I mean, that's okay. Then, so my thing is, why not free Larry Hoover then? Why not free him? He's been in jail forever. He's been in jail longer than a lot of these kids who represent his name been alive. Why not free him? He didn't commit murder or anything like that. They considered him the head of an organization that America felt was enemy to the state, and so he's been locked up like some of these Black Panthers. They've been locked up for a long time, and they didn't even commit crimes. Some of them have died in prison. They've been locked up since before I was born. So
and that's true. But that is true, and that is a point that a lot of people have made, and I agree with that 100%. I think people are coming from an emotional place though when they make that point, because it's not like there have not been people who have been lobbying and working for prison reform to take place, and for some of these people and prisoners of political prisoners to be released, even here in America. People have been working diligently for years to try to make that happen. Now, how come America has not, shifted in their belief in terms of these political prisoners being detained? I don't know. Well, we do know. We do know why. We do know why. It's political. It's all political, and it's all about power. We understand that.
It's 9 o'clock.
So Michael says because she broke their laws, but to your credit, Kara, she should not have been used as a political ping pong. That was wrong. Yes, it was.
I just, I quit. I hate beating the dead horse. It's just that, the only way you get justice if you Black is that if you playing with balls. It's the only way you're gonna get justice if you Black. If you playing with a football, playing with a basketball, playing with a baseball, or whatever, that's the only way you're gonna get real justice and people to actually look at you and have remorse for you is if you're playing ball, and
I can't say that that's true. There has been a trend, yes, in terms of athletes being people being more lenient with athletes in regards to the law. Yes, I do agree with that, but I can't say that, I can't generalize in terms of that's the only time people are concerned or supportive. I don't agree with that.
By a president. I mean, how many presidents have you seen go out their way to make an exchange, an arms deal, or any kind of anything? That's like saying, even with the girl who was just killed by her friends.
Well, you didn't say by a president in the beginning, so
Yeah, yeah.
you made that point. I'm thinking you're making a general point in regards to people being supportive of other
Yeah,
individuals. But
but have you ever heard of a president going out of their way to get somebody freed, and then to make that big of that a trade like that? I mean, you had this guy here for that many years, and he only had to do 8 more years, but make him ride his time out. You make everybody else ride their time out. I mean, so
again, that wasn't the negotiation. No matter how we try to slice it, that's just not what it was. And
and you're right. They negotiate bad. That's
mhm.
like when I was little. One of my friends would give me an old pair of shoes, and I might trade some brand new shoes for it because they told me this was that. So it just don't. That's like trading a Cavalier for a Bentley.
Okay, I mean, my mind just can't really grasp the whole.
Like why? Like she should be free. I know your mind. She probably like
My,
she's.
my mind can't grasp the whole value part of like making these comparisons, car comparisons in regards to like a human life. I can't. I get what you're saying, but mm, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like I don't agree with making those type of comparisons, but I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, and all valid points for sure. Now, when you were talking about, you were going to make a point about Shaquilla
Yeah,
Robinson.
yeah.
Can you go back to that?
My thing is, to tie it in. I'm trying to figure out how to tie it in. But even with that case, why hasn't the president stepped in on that? That's more pressing to me than getting her free, getting justice for this woman who was killed in a foreign country.
Okay.
You know, they say the FBI or is pressing Mexico, and Mexico is and what do we say? It was a
Femicide.
femicide, case, but nobody has been charged yet. They haven't even picked the girl up yet. They saying they could do something, but they haven't busted a grape yet. You know, why not put pressure? Why isn't the president putting pressure on Mexico to prosecute?
Well, I do believe that in terms of an update that there is at least they
An
have been
investigation.
have been she the Dejanay, the girl who
Yeah,
was shown in the video, pretty much body slamming Shaquilla Robinson has been charged with femicide.
she hasn't been extradited. She's not sitting in any federal jailhouse waiting to get extradited to Mexico. She's still out here.
What, have they found her?
If they can find Bin
I'm,
Laden and
no,
Saddam Hussein
I'm just
overseas,
right. I'm asking you, have they found her? I'm just saying,
they know where she's at. Yeah, they know where she's at. They're not. They haven't made the arrest.
are you
They
sure
know. They know exactly where she. They know. They know where she hang out at. They know probably where her mama live, wherever she. They can find that out through.
so all of them have fled North Carolina?
Yeah, but all you
I'm
gotta do is check iPhone records or Android records. Credit cards. You got to have money. I mean, these are multi-millionaires with stash houses. It shouldn't be that hard to find them. And then the people that's harboring them, they will get in trouble. harboring the fugitive if it was that deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. That's more pressing to me. That'd be a priority to me than doing this for somebody who you made a mistake. Maybe I would have maybe let her sit there maybe a year or two. Then I'd have came like, you know what? Come on, let's make this deal now. 9 months is no time. People wait in jail in the county jail 9 months just to get tried for to be put in prison for 2 years. So and I don't know the conditions that the Russian prison is. I don't know. So, but kudos to Brittany for getting out. You did it, girl. You got out. You did it. You broke the law. You sat down for a little bit. Now are you even a felon over here in I was about to say Omaha. In the United States, are you even a felon here? Do you still get to play basketball? Or is the slate scraped clean? Is everything? Is the plate clean now? You get to come here and the LA Sparks or whatever it is. Can they sign her now? I mean, life goes on now.
Yeah, to be continued.
I mean,
I'm glad that she's back. All good points. But yeah, I'm glad that she's back. I am.
Baltani looked out for, and I got to say, Baltani, they looked out for a black woman, and traded a high level person for her. That shows me that there is value. I look at it as value. There is value. There is value. And to go that high, that fast, kudos.
Yeah, I feel like you're saying kudos, but like you don't really mean that.
I appreciate what I'm just saying. As I sat back today and thought about it and critically thought about it. She actually is the winner. She's the winner. And hey,
well, we'll see. Well, we will see, because the way that y'all shaming her, it don't sound like she's gonna be the winner.
I don't see how she's not charged here. She's not gonna be charged here.
She's definitely not gonna have the same life. She's definitely not
She's
gonna.
a superstar here. She gets to go take. She could do a tell-all book. It could be a 3-part miniseries on Netflix.
We'll see.
We gonna see it because it's gonna come out to her book.
We'll see, because honestly, we do also have to consider her mental state right now. I'm not quite sure that she'll be able to just hop back on in. She'll have to go through some extensive therapy because she did do time in a Russian jail cell. So
she go. And right, Mike. She's gonna be all right. She never gonna smoke tweed and sticks again. I doubt that she will never. She's gonna get right back on her vape pen. She want that high. She need that high right now. She's on a high.
I do pray that she'll be fine, but again, I think that we're missing some big pieces, and we can't really speak for Brittany, but we do pray for her. Well, I do pray for her that she will do well. Now what? You want to talk? You want to talk more about Shankella?
Yeah, I mean, it ain't even about the political part or nothing like that. I'm just talking about friends and stuff like that. Shaquilla, that's very sad. Like I said, remind me of Kanika Jenkins. And how she was treated. People have said that she wandered off into the freezer, but I doubt that. I feel like that was a homicide also, and real friends don't let real friends walk around drunk like that. I never have. I never let my friend, when they blitzed or whatever like that, I don't let them out of my eyesight. I always keep an eye friends if they're too drunk, even if I'm drunk and they're more drunk, I'm gonna keep an eye on them. Here, lay down here somewhere, you know.
Right.
And so, friends can be your worst enemy, as we see nowadays, you know. And with Shanquilla, you know that's somebody needs to be. It needs to be some kind of justice for her. But they're dragging their feet. The feet is being drugged on this particular case.
We just don't really know. Honestly, we're not really privy to the back end of what this process even looks like. We just know what the media is reporting, to be honest with you.
And you're right.
I do know that the media has allegedly Dejanay has been she's going to be not imported, but what do they call it when she has to go back to? It starts with an E. Extradited. She is definitely going to be extradited back to Mexico for trial for femicide. And I know Mike
Everybody needs to be found.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. He said
questions. I mean,
I'm sorry. I just want this comment. Want to read it?
I'll start at the one, I guess 9-10. What does her counseling look like from here on out? How long you think she need to go through it? She's definitely not going right back into basketball. And then he also says, well, I'm going to address that. What does counseling look like for anyone that goes to prison for 9 months, you know, and gets back out on the street? There's really none. I mean, you'll have to find some kind of group therapy session somewhere for people who've done time, you know. But I don't see what the counseling or therapy would look like. I mean, you got it. That was your therapy. That let you woke you up. Don't go overseas violating laws, because it could have been much worse. It could have been way.
But you're still diminishing the fact that actually was an experience that she had. Now, if you were to go over to Russia, yes, she committed the crime. Okay, she committed the crime. She did it. She did experience the whole process of having to stay in a Russian jail, believing that she's going to be there for 9 years. Their jails are totally their jails are probably like our jails are probably a lot more luxurious than theirs. The treatment is probably
we assume that
our treatment.
We assume that.
Well, that's almost something that is expected. Like it's our jails are probably a lot more humane. Okay. They ain't feeling her because she's black. They're not feeling her because she's a woman, and they're definitely not feeling her because she's LGBTQ. So we don't know what type of treatment like I'm pretty sure it was pretty detrimental. That's just my take on it.
And that's another source of income for her to get out here, and that's her counseling and therapy, is to tell her side for a phenomenal fee.
She could profit off of that if she wanted to, but I'm honestly talking about like her actual mental health. Like that probably won't be her therapy. Her therapy will probably have to be like kind of talking through the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder. She probably has PTSD.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Well, just to be glad she wasn't in Singapore somewhere where they whoop your ass with canes.
I mean, we don't know what happened to the girl. We really don't know what happened to her.
We're going to find out in her tell-all.
Well, maybe, probably. But that does not negate the fact that she may need some actual professional mental health.
You're right, though. I mean, you're right, and maybe I'm just so hardcore about it because because I've been to jail before, and so but I haven't been to jail in Russia, But and that's probably why I'm insensitive, is because I have been to jail, but I can't. I don't know how it would look to be in a Russian prison, or was it violent for her, or was it mentally stressful for her, or was it physically stressful for her? We have no idea. But I'm just thinking about the people I've been around that have been to jail, done 10 years, 9 years, 1 year, 5 years, whatever, 20 years in prison, and they don't get any counseling, from that.
That doesn't mean that they shouldn't. I mean, I know a lot of people who have been in prison as well, and damn it,
Yeah, they need counseling.
they need counseling 15, 10,
Yeah.
15, 20 years later. They do. And they should have gotten it. And the thing about our prisons, or the system, is that it's not it's not set up to where you can be rehabilitated.
That's
You know,
because that's supposed to be the rehabilitation is prison.
or the actual origin of prison is a rehab.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a
Yeah.
rehabilitation. But it's
Yeah.
not. But it's not
No, it's
that.
not.
It's a system that's supposed to be recycled.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the system. Yeah.
We should
So
have did. Yeah.
no, nobody really gets the help or the counseling that they need upon being released from prison. Now that's absolutely true. I'm not gonna say nobody, but a lot of people don't seek it, and no, and it's not provided for them.
You said, talk about it, Wes. Humans need each other. Mike Barnes says, talk about it, Wes. Humans need each other. That kind of isolation is wild, bro. And you're right, but it's a slippery slope as far as, because she's coming out of there into money. She can afford. I assume that she will be able to afford the therapy and the counseling that she needs, and that there are going to be people because of her status that will be actually there that will want to help her out, and then she is still a value because she's still in her prime to play sports. And now, if they revoke, I don't know how they do it, but if they suspend her or terminate her from even playing again, I don't know. But she's very lucky. She's a lucky woman that America rallied for her and shook enough trees to get people to get the awareness out there and to reach Joe Biden so he can ultimately make that trade for her. She's very lucky, and I would hate for her to squander that off. And like I said, this is the perfect time to write your tell all, get a little three part mini series, on it, 1 hour to talk about who she is. The second hour is to talk about the prison, and the third hour is what happened afterwards.
Okay, I hear
You
you.
know,
I hear. I
did the
hear you.
book, all that. But
I hear you.
kudos to Brittany.
I get it.
Kudos to Brittany. Thank you, Joe Biden. I'm still not going to vote for you.
Do that though, you don't have to. Yeah, see, when you do that, it's not genuine. I don't like that part.
I'm still the devil's advocate.
That's what I don't like. No, you've been playing. You ain't really been playing devil's advocate. You've been playing Wes's advocate.
And you're right.
But
But for real though, the
that's another thing.
genuine.
Like, what's so hard about, like, what's the reasoning behind just being genuinely happy for the girl? Like, I guess you can't be because of different lived experiences, and so it's different
Yeah.
from you. Like, you're different from a different perspective, and so I respect that. I do. I respect that.
Yeah, because I don't know, I'm the part, like I said, on or about that is because of the fact that Tom
You going in and out, West.
Behind bars is hard time regardless. It's hard regardless. Going to jail anywhere is tough to me, especially, when I was growing up in the 90s, you've never been to prison. So,
West, if you can hear me, your connection is going in and out. So
okay,
we're going to ask maybe a couple of sentences.
hard on her because I have been to jail before. And all time is hard time, no matter where you at, and if you do the crime, you do the time no matter where you at, and she should be hard on her. And it's not that I'm not being genuine about saying, she's a lucky woman and she should be, thankful that she only had to do 9 months instead of 9 years. She only did less than 10% of the time that she was supposed to do. Maybe it might be, I can't say jealousy, but it's kind of a little envious to me to where you got the whole country, not the whole country, but a majority of the country rallying for you, and you did make the mistake of that. Even though they're older, that's probably YouTube. That's probably the YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not breaking up though.
You've been cutting it out.
No, have I been?
Yeah, you have been a little bit, but like I said, congratulations. I hope everything works out for you, Brittany, and your lifestyle is going to be totally better than mine. When you get back here, it's not. I throw a joke in there. I got to be West. I got to be.
No, it wasn't just. You did say earlier. You said earlier that you were feeling some type of way because of some envy. You did say that, did you not?
I don't know if it might be because of the fact that you.
Yeah, I think we're losing you, Wes. Yeah. I don't know. Can anybody hear me? Are y'all able to hear me?
I can hear you. Every now and then the screen goes black, and then there's a little circle. Every now and then the screen goes black, and then there's a little circle.
Gotcha. Okay.
Maybe I'm just talking too much, on YouTube about.
Well, maybe we just need to log off now and try again later.
Yeah.
Michael, there's really nothing to hit on. I just wanted to understand Wes's perspective. I'm not here to argue or rebuttal or anything like that. I mean, I had some talking points and I feel like I hit on those, and that was it. This was a good conversation, though.
Yeah. Yes, it was. I'm gonna keep it general, but I don't cut out. Yes, it was. It is.
You get on my
nerves, bro. I blame YouTube. My Wi-Fi is great. I think it's YouTube.
Okay. Okay, maybe it's YouTube.
I'm blame it on the system. You know me. I'm gonna blame it on the system. But
okay. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. This was a really good conversation. How long have we been on? For about
almost an hour. In about 20 seconds. Less than 20 seconds we'll be on for about an hour. This is pretty cool. It don't even feel like it's been an hour. It feel like it's been about 10, 15 minutes to me. But
I know.
Hey,
so we gotta come back on and bring it to them again. How about that?
Yeah. And next time we'll probably study what we're gonna do better. Better format. My background definitely gonna be different.
This was really impromptu. Very impromptu, yeah,
Yeah.
because both backgrounds is kind of a little janky, but it's okay. We gonna tap back in one of these days, and shout out to the We Us and Ours crew that came on.
Yeah.
Michael
Yes.
Barnes, Sharice was watching. I know they was text messaging in the little group chat that we in, our little text, our group text. They talking about you looking like a somebody grumpy.
Hey, I'm in my work outfit. I'm in my work outfit. You know, when the fight come up, I will be shaved clean. And are you going to the fight, or you gonna watch it on
No, I'm not going to the fight. I'm not going to the concert. I wasn't. I hate to say this, but I wasn't interested in investing in either one. Um,
Okay.
I mean, but shout out to Bud Crawford, and we rooting for him and everything. But them large crowds right now, I'm just not feeling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
that
not. I'm
money,
not.
man. I'll tell him get that money. That's all I can say. He's a good dude. Get that money. And I just can't go to that concert. You know, it's
Yeah, nah, it's not. Christmas is coming up. My birthday's on the 22nd, so yeah,
oh, you
I'm gonna keep
just
it.
touched the cap. You just touched the cap. Okay.
Yeah,
You
I just
scooped in
yeah,
there.
I'm on the cusp. You know that.
Okay. Okay.
You know I'm
Okay.
right on the cusp.
Well, I'm in there. I'm a Christmas baby. Well, day after Christmas. I'm a leftover
Yeah.
gift.
Well, me too. You only get that one gift
That's
for
it.
Christmas.
If you get any,
If you get any, yeah, it's a wrap.
the life of a Capricorn. But
Shout out to the caps.
gotta,
Okay.
I got to get up in the morning. We're gonna do this again. Thanks,
Yeah.
Kara,
All right.
for the
Thank you.
suggestion.
Okay. Have a good night. Thanks for everybody who chimed in. Michael Barnes, Sharice. Thank you.